Burdis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, sponsored by Coral and Raynham Steel, proudly presents 10 3-minute rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Super Featherweight Championship. Your officials are appointed by the WBO, and your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Igno Barabbas of Germany, Miguel Hook of Sweden, and Fernando Laguna Yanez of Spain. Your WBO supervisor is Miss Marion Palatin of Austria. Your steward in charge is Bill Edwards. Your timekeeper at the bell is Bob Edgeworth. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Steve Gray of the United Kingdom. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, fighting out of the red corner, the challenger with a record of 19 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws, with 8 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone, 3 pounds, 13 ounces, and tonight he wears the white shorts. Please welcome from the Philippines, Dennis Tubieron. And across the ring in the blue corner stands the WBO European and Intercontinental Super Featherweight Champion with an unbeaten record of 12 wins with 6 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 9 stone, 3 pounds, 5 ounces, and tonight he wears the gold and black shorts. Please welcome from Harrowweald, England, King Mitchell Smith. The referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Okay, boys, if I call break, you take 1 step back. Don't let any of your punches go on the back of the head, and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
This is 10 3-minute rounds for the WBO Intercontinental Super Featherweight Championship.
Dennis Tubieron, the 25-year-old from Muntinlupa City in the Philippines, went the distance over 12 rounds with Josh Warrington, showed himself resilient there, but overall took a little bit of a hammering. But can Mitchell Smith do what Warrington couldn't and get him out of there in quick time inside the distance? He certainly hopes so, and he hopes as well that he'll have less of a frustrating night than he had against Christian Palmer back in May, when Palmer came with not too many attacking intentions, and Smith found it very frustrating before finally getting him out in the 5th round.
Well, for me, for Smith, I think sometimes in the past he's tried to over-impress, tried to look too hard. Just nice and relaxed, like he started already nice and relaxed. And just let the punches flow, let the boxing flow. He's a naturally beautifully skilled boxer who likes to fight on the, coming forward and slip punches quite effectively when he does come forward.
Tubieron has had much of his career. He started as a pro at 19, fighting as a bantamweight, now going up in the weights a little. Fought and lost for the slightly lightly regarded WBF version of the bantamweight title back in 2011. Mitchell Smith, another of these happy hammers. A few of them, aren't there, follow West Ham United and making their way through the boxing game now. Shouldn't call it a game, it's a business, and a hurt business. Solid body shot, good left hook from Smith. Oh.
Nice fast hands there as well, wasn't it, for Smith? Not just towering that right hand, but speed with the double jab.
Tubieron, southpaw.
With a wide stance as well, isn't it, Tubieron? He drifts that right front foot over to the outside quite effectively. Just makes it hard then, a little bit harder for Smith to get that orthodox jab on target.
It was a body shot which unravelled Palmer in his last fight when he won this title.
Nice sharp left hook there from Smith. Tried it again, didn't work.
Oh, my word. First round, and that was an absolute peach. And you won't get a better camera shot, as you watched at home, of just what it's like to be hit by Mitchell Smith. Good night, that's it. Smith wins again.
His biggest test to date. And he absolutely wiped the floor with the guy. He looked sharp from the offset there, Mitchell Smith. Stalking his opponent, testing him with some hard, fast shots, not doing too much. That right hand there, right down the centre, right in the body, lovely body shot. Really fast, really accurate. Got the foot on the outside and everything right, perfect technique. And Mitchell Smith made the statement there.
I'm genuinely excited by Mitchell Smith. He's got the sort of style which is going to draw fans in. He's going to have the sort of style, if he keeps on winning, which could very well transcend boxing. And he's got that sort of personality as well. There's a little bit of the old Ricky factor about him.
And he's cocky. Without being too arrogant, he's cocky, he's so confident, he really believes himself, but he's a lovely kid to talk to, but he's a devil in the ring, he really is, and and that was his statement there. That was his hardest opponent to date, and he made it look one of his easiest fights. Now, when someone does that, you know they're going higher than what you see him now. You know they're maybe destined for greater things. I think this kid, we see him at his debut, and I said it's one of the best debuts I'd ever seen.
Tubieron's back on his feet, thankfully. He's given a little bit of oxygen by the medical staff in the corner. But what a punch that was from Mitchell Smith. Let's just watch again some of the action now. Look at this. Look at this. Bang!
Again, like all good fighters, or great fighters even, they get all the time in the world to throw that shot. Like, he's right out the distance there. He shouldn't be able to bend his knees and land with a body shot from that range. And he does, because he's disguising everything. Loads of distance, slides into distance really well. Turns from the waist, technique's perfect. Power, we've seen the power in him before. Listen, the kid's got everything. He's got everything. He's got everything. All he needs, he keeps the right discipline going, and he's going all the way.
Exciting stuff from Mitchell Smith. We wanted him to send out a bit of a message, I guess, those of us who really believe that he is something special. And he did it. He did it very, very effectively indeed. Tubieron mercifully is up on his feet, back centre ring. The belt is there, ready to be strapped once more around the waist of Mitchell Smith after the formal announcement of his victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2:42 of the first round, Dennis Tubieron has failed to beat the referee's count. The winner and still the WBO Intercontinental Super Featherweight Champion from Harrow Weald, King Mitchell Smith.
Sometimes you're kind of leading with your chin by saying that somebody is very special, Jim, but this fella has done nothing to dissuade that notion tonight. He's getting his belt now, and that was mighty, mighty impressive.
Tubieron walking out just behind our presentation position, and I have to say there was a gasp of astonishment at the power of that punch that finished the fight in the very first round. Steve Willis, when he was talking about I'm going to knock him out and I'll be disappointed, and I had a little wry smile because I had this one going a lot longer than less than a round.
Hey, let's be honest, Jim, before the fight, you said, Billy, I think we sat over there, I said, I think it goes the distance. You know, he survived comfortably against Josh Warrington for 12 rounds. You know, he was well beaten, but kept, but was always trying to keep himself in the fight. And he was just blown away. There really is a nasty streak to Mitchell Smith that, a lot of good fighters take into the ring.
Andy, I'm glad you're here at ringside because I want to have a look at the punch that finished it, and quite unusual to get that sort of power in that sort of punch. But you're the pro. You tell us all about it.
It seemed like the punch landed on his arm and then bounced into his solar plex, but that's when we were watching it live. But watching replay, it clearly went through the solar plex, and maybe the opponent wasn't expecting it because he went down and you could see the agony on his face as soon as the punch landed. There you go. And Mitchell Smith has bags of talent. I've seen him in the gym, I've seen him spar, and he has so much ability, and he can go as far as he wants to, I think, in the game. It's all depends on him. As hard as he wants to train, and whatever he puts in the box, and he'll get it out because he has the talent to back it up. There's
a big debate raging at the moment. Should he be a super feather, or should he work a bit more and come down to feather?
A feather is the weight for him, and he's looking at it. He spent a day in Manchester on Monday. He went to see Ricky Hatton, but one of the main purposes of the visit was to visit Kerry Kays at his house, who does a lot of the diets of fighters, and Kerry's working on a diet for him to see how he goes at 9 stone. He says himself if the opportunities are there at 9 stone, he will. And of course, he hasn't stopped calling out Josh Warrington, has he?
Well, I'm sure he'll do it again. Let's have a word with him.
Mitchell, that was quite a spectacular stoppage tonight. You said you'd be disappointed if you didn't get him out of there. I must admit, a few of us didn't quite believe you tonight.
Do you know what? I've stepped up my training. I've stepped up my game. I'm eating well. I'm training as hard as I possibly can with Jason, who's got the plan. And you know, I'm living a proper professional now. And you know, the step up comes, so everything else needed to be stepped up as well. And I've lived 110% boxing, and it showed in there tonight. I would have been really disappointed if I didn't get him out of there. So it's funny because I said to my dad earlier, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if I hit him with, I know it was a body shot, but if I hit him with one shot and switch him out. I hit that hard, I really do. I mean, people talking about going down at featherweight and that, it's still an option. If there's a big fight at 126, then I will go down to 126. But at the moment, whilst I've got the belts at 130, what's the point in doing another £4? You know, there you go.
I suppose that the longer you leave it, potentially the harder it might be to go back down.
I've already been told. You know, Kerry Kays is the man in the diet, and if he tells you you can do it, you can do it. So there you go.
Jason, he looked good tonight. How good can he be? How would you like to see him moved in the interim?
I ain't too sure. Probably we'll sit down, Francis, Mitchell, and we'll see what comes for nice defence. Maybe another defence. I don't know how he's going to move up in the ratings now. Yeah, see what Francis has got planned. We just need him to keep him busy. He just needs to keep busy. He needs to keep busy. So.
Francis, I think he's already number 8. Is he with the WBO top 10?
Yeah, he's number 8 with the WBO, and you know, tonight was a fantastic performance. You know, he's done tonight what Josh Warrington couldn't do. Tubieron took Josh Warrington full 12 rounds, and Mitchell got him out there in however many seconds it was, you know, for round 1. So it's a big statement tonight. And I said after the first interview after his first fight that we had a star on our hands, and his star continues to shine brighter and brighter in every fight. I think it's time to step him up a bit, and in his next fight, he's more than capable of it. He's got a fantastic team around him, and you know, he's obviously deadly serious about it. Getting advice from someone like Kerry Kays, who knows his stuff inside out. You know, he's covering all his bases, diet, training, everything, and it showed tonight. And I'm just so excited for this young man's future, and you know, so excited for us to be part of it.
Absolutely, and we're loving the journey with Box Nation as well, and some of those noisy fans up there in the top tier too.
Yeah, listen, got a great fan base. I've had it from fight 1, and I can't honestly, anyone else that wants to jump on board and buy tickets through me, which is even better, on my Facebook, my Twitter. You get my dad's numbers on Facebook and Twitter, and let's keep the ball rolling. You know, the journey's looking bright, and with my manager Richard Clark and my trainer Jason Rowland, it seriously is. It's a winning team. I can't see anyone that can beat me, honestly.
We look forward to the next step. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.